is innovations for sustainable environment, education, and development. This one was done by Mbasa Mawembe and Joseph Makwinja. We go to the next slide. Yeah. This is the vision of the institution: to be a self-reliant institution leader in innovation, entrepreneurship, and development of skilled workforce. So while our mission is to provide excellent, marketable, technical, and vocational skilled workforce, fostering entrepreneurship for socio-economic development of the community. We may go to the other slide. I think this one is straightforward. Our strategic objectives as an institution is to increase linkages with industry and community, to escalate innovation and entrepreneurship, to make college more sustainable, use latest technology in training, improve quality in academic programs and services. Yeah, so our core values include collaborative partnership, innovation, continuous improvement, culture of caring and belonging, sustainability, and integrity. Mangochi Community Technical College is a government-owned institution. Our regulator is TVETA. It opens its first doors. It opens doors on 20th March 2017 and officially opened on 25th March 2017. This college caters for youth in Mangochi district and the eastern region in order for them to acquire technical and vocational skills. And on 28th February, this institution had its first board members. That's when the board of governors was established for to guide the institution on governance issues. Next slide. We have got 8 courses, as you may see. We have got automobile mechanics, bricklaying, carpentry, joinery, electrical installation, fabrication, and the other ones that we can see down there. I know that the people, the listeners may wonder, now we are into this and now we go into something like forestry, agriculture. It doesn't matter. Let's go ahead. Next slide. Background of ICD project, innovation for sustainable environment, education, and development. The implementers of this, of SEED, actually were inspired upon noting the following. We've got the impact of climate change. As you are aware, the way how Malawi has been hit this year, we've got a lot of things happening due to Cyclone Freddy. And you may also see that the main cause is deforestation. So we also looked at unsustainable forest products such as charcoal remains one of the reliable source of income for many households. We also saw that the inhabitants, people are making a lot of charcoal out of the forest. And these people are not making charcoal because they want to use for cooking, but they want to sell and have money. So because they're in quest of money, that's why they cut a lot of trees. Then we also looked at the lack of ownership. One time we were also challenged one time. I went to my village, my home village, and then found people cutting trees. When I asked them, they said, this doesn't belong to the village. It was grown by God. So actually in most cases, because of that lack of ownership, you find that destroying the forest is not an issue. People can do anything because they feel ownership is not there. Then the other issue is an unemployment rate among the youth. So most of the youth with maybe O-level certificates, MICs, when they get home, the only remedy is to go into the forest, cut down trees, and make charcoal for their own living. Unemployment is also playing a big role. And also we look at the biasness that exists in the community between fruit trees and indigenous trees because of an annual income that is associated with the fruit trees, unlike indigenous trees. We have been to different places in our country. You may find that all indigenous trees are cut, but a mango tree will remain. Because in the setup of a village, cutting a mango tree, a fruit tree, you must seek permission from the village head. They don't just allow anyone to cut down trees. But when we come to forest, anybody can go into the forest and do what they like. Then we also looked at a number of global frameworks to restore environment and landscapes. In Malawi, we have got 4.5 million hectares that have to be restored. And also, but the forest has to be restored and also the landscape. So if we look at this, we find that it's better we start with the schools, as we did with the primary school, then we go to secondary schools. Since we have started small, we want to become bigger, that those people should own bigger forests, while at the same time, we're also helping the government in striving to restore the forest. Shall we come to next slide? This background is showing the way some areas of Malawi, the way how we are. So you can see the impact of deforestation. You can see the gardens. You can see trees are so scarce. And if you may zoom further, you find that the trees that remain there are fruit trees because they must have permission to cut them. So this is one of the issues that really drives us to say, no, let's do something so that we also contribute to the restoration of the forest. So of course, this one, okay, yeah, this one, you may also see the source was taken from African Conservation Foundation. Please, let's go to another slide. Yeah, the ICT project was established in 2022, having seen the problems that we saw at first. So our aim was to create sustainable forest rehabilitation and management in schools and communities, instilling culture of ownership, entrepreneurship, and food security. That is our aim. Shall we go to another slide? So forest restoration, actually, we want actually to have sustainable forests which balances the needs of the environment, wildlife, and communities, ensuring that forests both flourish and provide at the same time, nonetheless, supporting decent incomes while being conserved. For instance, we plant blue gums, we plant pines. These trees will take 30 years, 20 years for people to have to benefit from the tree. But when we have fruit trees, as they grow, for instance, the seedling that were provided for schools, these actually will fruit in 2 years. They will start harvesting fruits, which can be used for income generating at the institution. And also, they can also have, let's say, needs at the institution to be catered for. For instance, pieces of chalk, for instance, a child is sick. Once they have that money, I feel the people, even the students will have that interest, because as the tree grows, they're also benefiting. And as also the community is involved, from the primary teachers, the head, the pair, and even the district education director is also involved, knows about this. This will mean that there is sustainability. They'll have that care and they'll have that ownership. We have actually taken the model of introducing forests in the primary schools, because we know it's easy to communicate with the community. The community is going to know through the children, because we're also aiming at, in the future, after planting, a child will be given a tree to plant even at home. And also, since it's a holistic approach, even the ADC chair, the primary education advisor, the head teachers and the teachers, even the pupils themselves, they are going to be given that ownership. Each and every child who has planted a tree must take ownership, must take care. So they will learn how to take care of the trees and also how to safeguard the tree. As also, we also had the forestry personnel also to train them in management and how to take care. Thank you. Let's go to another slide. Hello. Yeah, the trees. Okay, the trees being planted include propagated mango trees, Mangifera indicarin, and indigenous trees. So we also expect other trees to be planted, like Wapaka, Kikiana, or sugar plum, Masuku in Chichewa. They are wild fruits, but actually they can also bring that change that is needed. They could be making juice and the like. Yeah, then we also have common custard apple, Maposa in Chichewa. This can also, we also intend to bring them. Then we also have guavas. Nice, next slide. Next slide. We have got the project objectives. Project objectives. This is to develop capacity in sustainable forest rehabilitation among students. So as we're doing here, we're empowering, we're capacitating students that are growing while they're learning. So once you train a child when he's young, it's very easy to continue as the child grows. Even when he's adult, will not forget that. To adapt the best practice for forest rehabilitation in target schools. Demonstrate good practice for forest restoration. Thank you. Can we go down? Yeah. The following process was followed in identifying the best approach and coming up with the first target schools for the implementation. Firstly, we approached the lead of leadership for environment and development lead in Zomba, where we met Professor Jota, expressing our concern about the forest. And he did not stop there. He actually advised us to have an audience director of forestry, Madam Gama, where we went to meet the director of forestry and natural resources in the Lilongwe. Then she also referred to district forest officer, whom we also met here in Mangochi. And then finally, we were referred to the district education youth sports in Mangochi, who actually now gave us the institutions where we can actually plant these trees. Let's go to another slide. Next. The DS identified 5 schools for us to distribute seedlings comprising of propagated mangoes and indigenous trees. The first school we donated trees and planted was Kwiputi Primary School, besides Marimbasa, Uturulu. Let's go down. Yeah. This is where we firstly started distributing and planting these trees. This is the mango fruit being planted at Kwiputi. We see in the center, the pear, the primary school, primary education advisor is there with the head teacher and the other members there. Let's go down. Yeah, so now after being trained these are the students the learners who also participated in planting the trees in their own orchard. Again, let's go down. We also went to this school, apart from Mombasa and the other schools. This is where we actually also donated trees. As you may also see, this one was in the paper, that actually, as individuals, we also distributed trees in these schools. This was it was captured in the news, in Mana News of March 2, that we were on the campaign, we are on the exercise of donating and planting trees with these schools for sustainability. Thank you. Let's go to another slide. Forest rehabilitation best practice, as you may see.
I think these are the objectives you already explained.
Yeah, so these are the objectives that we were already explained. These are in detail. Let's go to another slide. Okay, let's go to another slide. Yeah, we've got a demonstration of good practice. This is emanating from the objectives that we have there. Yeah, that will involve everybody. You may see down the ADC chair, the village head main, and also we come down to have the for the community to have the ownership, whereby we know that generating income generating activities are there to care for the trees, and that now we're also thinking to say no, as trees as fruits are as trees are producing fruits, how best we have to link them with the markets. We have to also maybe to provide them with the juice makers, so that they should sell juice so that you sell juice to the companies like we have Malawi mangoes, Salima mangoes, which actually is a ready market for them, because the mango that we're producing, they are good for juice. Let's go to another slide. So this is also another objective on developing capacity in sustainable forest rehabilitation. Actually, we have this, choosing suitable type of tree, because we don't just have to plant a tree that may not do well. And we also train them how to manage seedlings, how to manage forest, to have the value chains, marketing and partnering with the, let's say, other stakeholders. For instance, we also want them to train them how to produce seedlings so that they can also supply. Already the market is there, and the country would like to produce, to restore 4.5 million hectares. Therefore, if schools could also be able to produce seedlings, then that will help them also to have income generating, and some will also learn from there. They can use those as activities, seedling, producing, and selling. Thank you. Let's go to another slide. In our recommendation, we feel more schools are interested to have sustainable forests. More seedlings are required to meet the demand. More schools and students are interested to adopt seedlings, producing and value adding of forest products as an income generating activity, replacing charcoal burning. Can we go down? Yeah. This marks the end. Thank you so much for listening and for giving us time to express or to show you what we have done so far. And actually, because we have financial constraints, this actually was done through two of us. We had to get resources and produce this. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mangochi Community Technical College, for showcasing your change project. I now open the floor for comments, questions, clarifications, if any.
Hello.
Yes, Pascal, you can go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, I would like to congratulate the team for the achievement. And I was just wondering if there is any community of practice there, because as I could understand, the change project was undertaken by the two of them. So that is my question. Were they the only one who participated in all this process, or there were other people who were also involved and they were just the leaders? This is what I just want to be, this is what I want to know. And again, congratulations for the achievement.
Yes, Mbasa and Joseph.
Yes,
That's
Joseph, take this one.
All right. Actually, most probably we are two of us participating on this project. You understand, it was just we need a lot of resources actually to take to pump into the project. As such, many people were not interested, so we made sacrifice, two of us, from our other sources of income to purchase the seedlings and the like. So to answer the question, it's only two of us who have been learning up and down to implement this change project. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Robin, I see your hand up. You can come in. Then Tony.
Hi, Ben. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Gentlemen, thank you for such a fantastic and inspiring presentation. I really loved it. And I've got two short questions for you. The one is, what were the biggest challenges you faced as you undertook this project? And secondly, what are your ideas around taking the project to scale? Thank you.
Yes, Mbasa and Joseph.
You take the challenge of the scaling issue.
Take the challenge. I'll take the scaling issue.
All right. Thank you. Actually, the challenges we usually face during the implementation of the project, maybe from consultation stages, we had to travel around the countries, as you have seen in the presentation, different offices at least to gather the information and the best practice to implement it. And the second challenge was the resources. As you can see, we had to purchase the seedlings from the producers and then transporting them to different schools, because as the presentation shows, we had 5 model schools which we intended to implement in the project. So transporting all these trees to and fro into all these 5 schools, including some allowances for other officials, it was a challenge. As such, we had to lower the number of trees being distributed and planted per institution in order to cover all 5 schools. So that was the main challenge as of today. Thank you. The other question will be taken by my colleague, Mbasa.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. On scaling up, we're very much interested to scale up the project, because after visiting these institutions, we received a lot of demand from other institutions, from the district education office or schools. Please, we want these trees, we want you to support us. So now, what we would like to do is, well, as we said in our presentation, that it's expensive to buy seedlings. So we would like to train these institutions on how to manage seedlings, while the institutions have got a lot of land, they've got backyard land, so they can do it. So we would like to train them how to manage seedlings. And then as we go along, we also want to train them how to make joys, and also would like to train them entrepreneurship skills. It's not only about it, because as the forest grows, they also need to employ some of the people, because these students, these learners, after planting, they go to secondary schools. Others are coming. And now when it grows big, we need to employ. So some of the people will be employed in the next few years. They are the same because they live from within and they started the project going further. And therefore, had it been that it was possible to have that partnership with any organization, then we could maximize, because we're intending, let's say, per school to plant more than 1,000 trees, because indigenous trees, for instance, the masuku tree, the wapaka, that one is a natural tree. Together, if it can be aligned with the mangoes, that will be very, very good. So now we're also looking at the juice making. How are they going to make juice? How do they find market? So if we could actually have a partner to so that we can be distributing 1,000 trees, that could help a lot. So we really want to.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I think you captured the question. Let's take one last comment question before we move to the next presenter. Kondwani Nyilongo, I see your hand is up. Kondwani Nyilongo, you are allowed to speak now. Oh, okay. We have Tony. Tony, you can come in.
Thank you, Ben. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to register my participation. Of course, I had an issue with some technicalities, but now I feel you can hear me.
Okay.
Right? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, yes. All right.
Yeah. My comment basically is coming in the perspective of the challenges. Of course, one challenge that Mbasa and the colleague you have put across, they have talked about many people not being interested. And yeah, it's really true. I'm working within the same environment. So I'm happy that my colleagues have noted that one and pointed that out. I also wanted to commend the Friends for engaging schools, because yes, they are a technical institution, a technical college, but they've worked with the primary schools. This is a good development, because from my experience, I've noted that these partnerships where different institutions are working with the schools are a better way to go in as far as achieving these issues of environmental sustainability and education for sustainable development is concerned. So I'm happy, I'm pleased that technical colleges are also working together with the education institutions like primary schools and other establishments. That's what I noted. Of course, I have my presentation. I'll share a lot as my time comes. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Let's try to catch up with time. Let's go to the next presentation. Atanase from IFP Zambezia. This is your time.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Are you speaking English or Portuguese?
My presentation is in Portuguese.
Okay, you can proceed to Portuguese. Participants, just make sure that you are in the right channel to hear the language that you want to hear.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Sou Atanase Rabuhazi, do Instituto de Formação de Professores de Ato-Molope. O Instituto de Formação de Professores de Ato-Molope é uma instituição de formação de professores que está localizada na província da Zambésia e no centro de Moçambique. com o distrito, o Instituto de Formação de Professores está no mesmo distrito com o mesmo nome, que é Apmoloco. E o nosso tema é de fertilização dos solos a partir do lixo caseiro. A seguir. Vou pedir para quem o problema de conexão no meu dispositivo, que é o do computador, a pessoa que está no servidor pode me ajudar a visualizar os slides. Slide a seguir. A introdução. Dizemos que a educação, a educação dos povos, a cultura, a exploração do conhecimento já existente, contribui para o desenvolvimento. O conteúdo dos currículos mediados pelos professores em diferentes níveis de ensino, seja ensino superior, seja ensino primário, secundário, assim em diante. Esse conhecimento pode contribuir pode ser aproveitado para a sustentabilidade. O projeto A Fertilização dos Solos a partir do lixo caseiro visa reaproveitar o lixo que apodrece como adubo. E o mesmo tema tem um impacto direto com toda a sociedade através do aumento da produção agrícola e conservação do meio ambiente. Okay? Então, a justificação do nosso tema dizemos que o Instituto depositava o lixo nos aterros e tapava com areia. Depois de entender os conceitos de educação para o desenvolvimento sustentável, inspirado pela qualidade também do milho e outros produtos que tem se verificado ao redor dos pátios na comunidade local, então descobriu que o mesmo lixo poderia ser reaproveitado como adubo. Sim. A seguir. Então, essas são as imagens que mostram o trabalho que temos feito no IFP de Alto Molope, nas atividades de limpeza. Se nós dizemos que aproveitamos o lixo caseiro, então consideramos o nosso instituto como se fosse uma casa. Isso pode também se fazer em qualquer casa, mesmo no quintais da comunidade em redor, tanto como em diferentes famílias. Então, essas são as imagens que nós tiramos durante essa atividade, quando estávamos a fazer a limpeza, e na mesma altura nós enterrávamos tudo o lixo, seja o lixo que apodrece, seja o que não apodrece, como plástico e outro tipo de lixo, tudo enterrávamos nessa altura. A seguir. A pessoa. Então, os objetivos do nosso projeto, primeiro era produzir o adubo orgânico. Digo adubo orgânico, esse conteúdo que nós o lixo que nós recolhemos inclui diferentes tipos de folhas, seja de acacieira, seja as folhas diferentes. Então, essa coisa, e depois inclui também o lixo da cozinha. Então, nós, a partir do mesmo, o nosso objetivo era para produzir o adubo orgânico a partir do mesmo lixo que nós colhemos durante a limpeza. E como objetivos específicos, era reaproveitar o lixo do Instituto para a produção do adubo orgânico. O outro objetivo era aumentar a produtividade do Instituto e depois reduzir o custo de compra de adubo e promover a higiene do meio ambiente através da limpeza. Então, e por que reduzir o custo de adubo? E muitas das vezes, durante esse tempo em que nós, aliás, que o mundo registra alguns conflitos de diferentes tipos, incluindo o caso do conflito russo-ucrânia. E, na verdade, naqueles países, o mundo conseguia, são os países que vendiam mais adubo ao nível do mundo, e isso fez com que os preços dos adubos, como dos outros produtos, sobam, e depois também a chegada é muito reduzida e chega tão tardia, o que, na verdade, aproveitando o lixo o lixo de casa e fabricando o adubo ao nível interno, pode facilitar o nosso trabalho dele. O lixo no aterro para a produção do adubo. Então, essas são as imagens que mostram aqui quando nós estávamos para colocar o lixo no aterro. Esse é um aterro para produzirmos o nosso adubo. E depois de encher o lixo, tapamos com areia. E depois de um determinado tempo, uns 3 meses, apodrece. E de lado mostramos alguma coisa, o sítio, a página do Facebook do IFT de Atmoloque, onde pode encontrar essas imagens. Essas imagens foram publicadas no dia 24 de julho do ano passado. Poderemos encontrar nesta mesma página do Facebook. Aparecer dele. Esta é a página do Facebook do SST Webinar. Quem puder pode visitar. Fácil. Depois, na mesma página, vai encontrar um vídeo que o formador de produção escolar estava envolvido nesse processo antes. Exato. Em que o formador do IFT de Atmoloque, da área de produção escolar, estava a explicar aos formandos que foram envolvidos na mesma atividade. Os aspectos de sucesso que nós tivemos através da limpeza, temos um aspecto positivo, o aspecto de sucesso, como a proteção do meio ambiente através da limpeza, e a aprendizagem a partir da prática, porque os formandos fazem e são as atividades práticas, facilita a aprendizagem, pois a redução do custo de compra do adubo e a conservação e a fertilização dos solos, porque é a partir do mesmo adubo que nós depois da produção do adubo, levamos para o campo de produção do instituto e acaba alimentar os solos. Depois aumentamos a produção agrícola a partir do mesmo adubo. Viu? Conteúdo a seguir. Slide. Então, tivemos alguns desafios. Um dos desafios é como controlar o aterro reservado para a produção do adubo, de modo que não se junte diferentes tipos de lixo, como garrafas, sacos plásticos e em diante. Refiro dos tipos de lixo que não apodrece. E o outro assunto, como desafio que nós tivemos, é comportamento de resistências a mudanças. Nem todos, quando explica esse aterro, esse é para o lixo que não apodrece, esse aterro é para a produção do nosso adubo, nem tudo segue aquilo que são as orientações. O último desafio é mudanças climáticas. Problema de mudanças climáticas. Então, no fim, nós trouxemos algumas recomendações, tanto para o projeto quanto para as atividades, tanto para outras atividades que têm a ver com outros projetos de mudança, porque nós temos em mente que os nossos formandos irão disseminar os conceitos de EDS. Então, a primeira recomendação é disseminar o conceito de EDS. Pode ser a partir da réplica desse mesmo projeto ou a partir de um outro projeto de mudança. Depois, a seguir, é atribuir responsabilidade aos intervenientes para garantir a eficácia dos trabalhos. Quando nós dizemos atribuir responsabilidade, colocamos alguns formandos que deveriam controlar os outros no aterro onde colocamos o lixo, onde nós estamos a preparar o nosso adubo para que não se coloque outros objetos que não apodrecem, como garrafas, como exemplo de garrafa. Depois de encher também o aterro, tapamos com areia e regamos para poder acelerar o apodrecimento do lixo. E depois induzir os formandos para fazer as réplicas nas suas origens, locais de estágio profissional, também seus futuros locais de trabalho. Também sensibilizar as comunidades a reaproveitar o capim do campo de produção como adubo e não queimar. Porque muitas das vezes temos observado algumas queimaduras descontroladas. Então, nesse sentido, o mesmo capim, como apodrece, e, na verdade, sensibilizamos a comunidade para poder reaproveitar o mesmo capim e também é uma varinha para toda a sociedade. E, no fim, ficar atento aos serviços de meteorologia sobre o aconselhamento relacionado com as mudanças climáticas. De todas as formas, há necessidade que nós acompanhamos E dos exemplos que eu posso dar existe algumas atividades que podem ser desenvolvidas no tempo chuvoso e as outras atividades também no tempo seco. Por exemplo, no nosso caso, se nós dizemos que precisamos de regar o aterro para a produção do adubo, então no tempo chuvoso não há necessidade de regar. E muito obrigado. Devolvo a palavra.
All right, thank you so much, Atnashem. Muito obrigado. I now open the floor for questions and comments. Yes, Ana.
Olá, bom dia.
Bom dia. Bom dia, bom dia.
Adorei o trabalho do colega. Já tínhamos visto, já tínhamos discutido estes pontos. Não é uma questão, não é um comentário. Eu gostaria de pedir ao colega se nos podia dispensar a sua apresentação, pois porque há realmente coisas que ele aqui apresenta que nós podemos fazer de réplicas dentro dos nossos países, dentro das nossas comunidades, que são extremamente importantes, não é? Por isso, mais uma vez, colega, os meus parabéns. Beijinhos.
All right, thank you so much, Anna. Okay, I'll ask Dr. Verma to share the presentations with the rest of the participants. Any other questions or comments? All right. Oh, this is trying to come in. Atanashe, you have something to speak? You are muted. We can't hear anything from Atanashe because she's muted. Let's go to the next presentation. This presentation is coming from Tony Magwila, Parombe Teacher Training College in Malawi. Tony, it's your time.
Yes, Ben. Thank you so much.
If you can, please keep it to not more than 15 minutes.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Let me share my screen. Yes. Where I'm trying to yeah. Yeah. Okay. With me here is yeah, Paul Zimbiri, a friend in the project, so we are together in this one. But I will be presenting on a change project entitled Pamtondo ESD School-Led Bricketing, project, and this one is a change project for Palombe Teacher Training College. Briefly, Palombe Teacher Training College is one of the 8 public teacher training institutions in Malawi, which is situated some 12 kilometers from Palombe Boma in the southern part of the country. Basically, it was established in 2015 and was officially opened on 24th May 2015. That's possibly the brief about the institution. But now let me take you through to the background of our change project. In fact, this one is just an intervention, an institutional intervention to respond to the core of sustainability starts with teachers, where change projects are a major characteristic of the program. So the Pamtondo ESD school-led bricketing project was born from that. Basically, as the community of Palombe Teacher Training College and the surrounding area, there are issues of the gap between curriculum content and practice. As a practicing teacher for over 14 years, I have come across the tendency or the practice where most teachers simply focus on the cognitive domain and leave out the opportunity to allow students interact and of course use their critical thinking and their reasoning abilities to connect the curriculum with what the community requires. So Pamtondo ESD came in to address that. Apart from that, we noted that in our community, there is insufficient awareness about social and environmental protection and of course justice. In addition, there has been an observation of rampant deforestation due to lack of cost-effective alternative to charcoal and firewood. As my friend Mbasa noted that in Malawi, the issue of household fuel is very critical. So local people, a lot of local people indulge in cutting down trees for charcoal and of course firewood. In addition, we noted that in most schools, waste paper and some other organic residues are not well managed. You find litter everywhere, paper is everywhere after the students have used them. So we came in to address the issue of unfriendly disposal of waste paper and some other organic residues in schools and the local community. But not only that, also we noted that in our curriculum and of course the practice, there is a gap, especially in terms of entrepreneurship and vocation, more especially among learners with special educational needs. Yeah, so looking at that, we thought we could come in with an intervention aimed at enhancing the capacity of teachers and teacher educators in Palombe, Mulanje, and Zomba districts towards resilience of local communities vulnerable to poverty, energy crisis, and climate change. We are focusing on poverty, energy crisis, and climate change, and some of the major concerns that the local communities and of course as a country are experiencing. Specifically, Pamtondo ESD came in to contribute to transforming learning and training environments, to also develop capacities of educators and trainers, and also to mobilize youth for action for environmental integrity and of course climate change. And again, we
Tony, I don't see your slides moving. Is it only me?
Okay, so you don't see the slides moving. I am in the third slide.
Can you put it in a slideshow?
Slideshow.
Yes.
All right. Okay, slideshow. Right. Yes, please. Ben, can you see my slides?
Yeah, carry on.
All right. Okay, so these are simply the slides that I've gone through. Now, of course, I was talking to this slide, the main aim of the project, and we are saying we want to enhance the capacity of teachers and teacher educators in Palombe, Mulanje, and Zomba districts towards resilience of local communities that are vulnerable to poverty, energy crisis, and climate change. In fact, the focus is on Palombe, Mulanje, and Zomba districts because these are the feeder districts where our students come from. And again, these are the districts that the institution allocates its student teachers for teaching practice. So we felt it's an opportunity that we have these districts that we can carry out our activities. As regards to the objectives, I already talked to the objectives. Sorry? Yes, can you see this slide, Ben?
Specific objectives, yes.
Yes, yes, yeah. So I've already talked to this, Komano. Let me go to this one, the achievements. So far, the project has registered a number of achievements because we have increased the capacity for ESD of about 37 educators. In fact, as the project was being adopted, there was about a number of about 37 educators at Palombe DTC, and we have worked with about 570 pre-service teachers. Yeah, so through engaging these groups of people in the this period, the 2-year period when the project has been taking place, has been carried out, we feel that engagement alone has increased the capacity of this population. Apart from that, there is evidence of adoption of briquettes by local communities. So briquettes have been adopted by local communities in place of charcoal and firewood, and this is entailing increased responsibility for the environment. And apart from that, students are able to plan, implement, and replicate entrepreneurship activities. For example, in the school-led briquetting project, we are actually engaged in making briquettes. So some students, some schools were making these briquettes, and we are realizing income after selling. Yeah, so from that you can actually notice that there is that element of entrepreneurship where students are able to reproduce these entrepreneurship activities. Furthermore, we feel social interaction has been enhanced in the 49 schools, the 49 teaching practice schools in Mulanje, Zomba, and Palombe districts, with an estimated enrollment of 91,000 learners. In fact, our project scaled to these teaching practice schools when the student teachers went for teaching practice. They actually replicated briquetting in those teaching practice schools. So we are convinced that through engagement into this project, social interaction has been enhanced as the students were working in groups. And in addition, this project has contributed to the development of the regional strategic framework for SADC on education for sustainable development, because at one point the leadership of the project was involved in a policy dialogue where the bits and pieces of the ESD strategic framework for the SADC region was developed. You can see some pictures there, just some evidence of what the student teachers are doing. In fact, in the first picture, you may, right, in the first picture, the student teachers are engaged in making simple briquette presses. So there is a member from the local community here who is a carpenter by profession, engaged in the change project to support the student teachers with the basic skills in making simple briquette presses. And again, apart from using the simple briquette press, we squeeze the briquettes using hands, and you may notice here these female student teachers are showcasing what they have made from the waste paper. So they are showcasing the briquettes. And not only that, you may see from this picture here that there is some sort of awareness raising. So here in the first picture, these are students from Palombe Teacher Training College. They are
sorry, Tony, we still can't see the slides. I don't know what's happening.
Where? So the slides can't be seen. Okay, let me try to write. Let me try to.
Yes, we can see now. It's moving now.
It's moving. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I was talking to this picture here where student teachers are engaged in drama just to raise awareness, because as I already indicated that awareness is an issue at Palombe TTC and the local communities. So this is at college. While here, it's at a teaching practice school where the learners here, after adopting the change project, also carrying out awareness campaign. So the boys and the girls here are also doing drama just to raise awareness for environmental sustainability. In this one, you may notice here that teacher educators and the local environment is actually attending an exhibition session where the briquettes are being showcased here. So yeah, there is showcasing of the briquettes just to raise awareness. And with this other picture, it's now in the teaching practice school. So what we are saying is the project has really enhanced the awareness for climate responsibility. From this picture, you can see how funny it has become in the teaching practice schools. The learners are happy interacting while showcasing how these briquettes are used. And you may notice here that some members of the local community have adopted briquetting. So this one is one of the members of the local community trying to make their own briquettes in their homes and using them in their kitchen here. Yeah, so we are doing all this just to make sure that we have an alternative to wood fuel, which is contributing to a lot of climate change and related impacts. The change project has had a number of impacts. For example, it has contributed to
Can you try to shake your slides again?
All right, okay, let me shake the slide. Okay, all right. Okay.
Yes.
Can you please see my slides?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So we are talking about the impact, and we are looking at the contribution of the project to sustainable development goals, where we are saying through adoption of the change project model, where students work collaboratively to use creative thinking abilities and address local sustainability concerns, then the project is contributing to sustainable development goal number 4, which aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote life learning opportunities for all. And apart from that, this project is a wider strategy towards sustainable development goal 4, goal 1, which is talking about ending poverty in its all forms. And this is achieved through engaging the participants in proposing solutions to systematic problems related to poverty. In addition, the project has contributed to Sustainable Development Goal 13 through developing and running an action project targeting environmental conservation, and of course, by raising awareness and advocating for climate protection. Not only that, the project has contributed to transformation, the transformation of the schools, transformation of individuals, and of course, transformation of local communities. In fact, what we are saying is the activities in this program are directly linked to the specific needs of the rural communities. For example, the briquetting project, adoption of the briquetting project is responding to a community concern of lack of sustainable and cost-effective alternative to wood fuel. So by involving ourselves into briquetting, what we are doing is we are addressing that local concern, contributing to transformation of the society. In addition, the learners are engaged into activities that are targeting vulnerable populations, people who are vulnerable to poverty, energy crisis, and climate change, which indicates that those students are getting transformed from learning for the job market towards learning to change their societies. Further to that, through advocacy and awareness, communities have acquired skills and capacities for environmental integrity, sustainable life skills, and responsible citizenship. Another impact is on integration. In our project, we have noted that there has been a strong interpersonal connection because our activities are usually collaborative in nature. So this collaboration allows participants to integrate sustainability principles into their daily practices. Through collaborative participation, educators and pre-service teachers and learners are speaking up and acting for positive change to the society they live in. This outcome clearly indicates that the use of collaborative participation is actually powerful in transforming the way people think, the way people live, and the way people react to the environmental issues, which is actually important in climate action, which leads to lowering climate change and biodiversity loss and poverty. In short,
you are remaining 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you. In short, this project is actually not leaving out any aspect. Yes. And lastly, there is an element of innovation. And here we are saying the project creates a space where pre-service teachers are challenged to use their critical thinking and creative reasoning abilities to examine the sustainable development concerns in local communities, design intervention, and scale the intervention up. And through the engagement, a lot of innovations have been realized. But I wanted to talk about the continuity of this project, and we are saying this project is self-sustaining because it invests in the available human capacity and utilizes waste materials for production outcome. And apart from that, it also makes use of established operational procedures of the institution, such as partnership meetings and supervision visits for orientation, monitoring, and support of project activities in our teaching practice schools. We have a strategy for the 2023 and 2025, where we would want to scale from the teaching practice schools to the schools that are around, the communities that are around the teaching practice schools. So we are suggesting that we reach out to about 588 villages that are peripheral to the 49 teaching practice schools for Palombe Teacher Training College, and also want to engage the 278 newly enrolled students at Palombe TTC. But the approach in this one, what we think is in the first term, the newly enrolled pre-service teachers will be supported to work in smaller groups and examine their curriculum using the local community as a space for reference. For example, we have teaching of agriculture, environment, and climate change in agriculture. So what we are saying is one group will be challenged to evaluate that topic in relation to the real agricultural environment in the community. So they will have a project, they'll be visiting communities just to have the real experience. And then in those groups, they'll need to devise an intervention for the challenge that they establish around that particular subject matter. So you notice that in different subjects that are taught at TTC, different groups will be tackling different topics, but considering the local community as the reference point. And the assumption is that towards the end of first term, these different groups will come together at a symposium where they will share what they have come across, and they will also exhibit the interventions that they have come up with. And from there, as a college, you sit down and think of, and of course, choose an intervention that we feel we can scale. And that one is the intervention that each and every member of the college will need to familiarize with, so that when the student teachers go to the teaching practice schools, they will need to adopt or replicate that particular intervention into the teaching practice schools. So basically, that's our approach as we go forward. I thank you for your attendance, but down here we have links to the project. If you want to understand more about the project, there are links that are leading to some of the platforms where our project has contributed some stuff that you can help us to understand the project better. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tony. Palombe Teacher Training College in Malawi. Quickly, open the floor for questions and comments, if any. We are running out of time, so bear fast. We'll exceed with about 10 to 15 minutes so that the last presenter give us their presentations as well. Any questions, comments? Okay, if you are still thinking about it, we can come to you in the last 2 minutes of the session. Let's go to Angola, Vasco Ernesto Uwiji. Are you ready for your presentation? Is the presenter here? I can't see. Okay. Let me promote. Yes, Uwiji Group, this is your time.
Acredito que agora nos ouvem.
Yes, we can hear you.
Certo. Marques Ernesto Vasco. Estou em linha.
Melissa, we can't hear you. Okay. We can hear you now.
Sim, Marques, em linha. Conseguem me ouvir?
Vilma, the presentation is gone?
Yes, someone else is sharing screen.
Okay. Let me do this. Okay.
Okay.
Sim, Marques, em linha. Conseguem me ouvir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Eu vejo a tela. Não sei se conseguem me ouvir. Doutora Vilma. Doutora Vilma.
Yes, okay. Must I continue? I can't hear Marissa.
Yes, he's able to hear you, but as he hear, we can't hear you present your interpretation from Portuguese to English.
Certo, acredito que posso falar. Neste momento me ouvem. Verifico aqui no nosso chat, alguém confirmou. Queríamos que colocassem a capa. Vamos começar ali. Outro. Falta o primeiro slide, que é a capa. Mas, contudo, podemos... Ok, certo. Muito obrigado. No entanto, somos a Escola de Magistério ADPP, na província do Uíge, em Angola, e participamos desta formação última que a Unesco ofereceu. No entanto, o projeto que vamos apresentar foi desenvolvido por 6 docentes, dos quais aqui na capa estamos a verificar 4, outros 2 não estão. Então, o mais alto, com uma muda de planta aí, é o diretor da Escola de Magistério ADPP, onde estamos a desenvolver o trabalho. No entanto, a outra é a docente da Escola, do Instituto Superior de Ciências de Educação do Uíge, ICE do Uíge, e o terceiro, de direita à esquerda, o terceiro é o professor Garcia Duca, que trabalha na escola primária Filhas de Jesus, em Negage, no município da província do Uíge. E aí, o que fala, que está aí com um outro vaso com muitas plantas, sou eu, Marques Ernesto Vasco, trabalho na Escola de Magistério ADPP. Podemos passar para o segundo slide. Certo. O tema que está a nortear o nosso projeto é plantação de mais de 2.000 plantas diversas no perímetro da Escola de Magistério ADPP Uíge em Negage. No entanto, envolvemos outras atividades dentro deste projeto, conforme vemos aí, são alunos que estão a reciclar alguns materiais para a construção de meios de ensino, principalmente. São alunos que estão a se formar como técnicos médios de educação, especificamente para as zonas rurais. E verificamos aqui uma jovem com uma planta. Lá mais em diante vamos explicar a expansão que fizemos da plantação de árvores no perímetro, então envolvemos também a comunidade que está ao recinto da escola. Podemos avançar para outro. Certo. Introduzindo o nosso trabalho. No entanto, Angola está a viver momentos de grandes desafios no tocante a mudanças de metodologias de ensino e aprendizagem no campo da educação, assim como na relação entre a teoria e a prática dos conhecimentos que se trabalham na sala de aulas. Digamos que quanto aos Objetivos de Desenvolvimento Sustentável, ODS, o nosso país é pioneiro. Por esta razão, testemunhamos o primeiro grupo que terminou a sua formação nesta área há poucos dias. Nós também somos fruto desta fase e estamos aqui, estamos a gatinhar. Primeiro aqui, tínhamos que compreender os objetivos que a Unesco tem e principalmente quando desenvolvemos a ação número 3, então vimos que para além de plantarmos, mas há muita aprendizagem nisso, razão pela qual nossas metodologias também, a partir daquele momento, começaram a ter outros focos. Podemos avançar para outro slide para continuarmos com a introdução. Então, eu estava a dizer que o nosso projeto se enquadra ao primeiro objetivo, que é erradicar a pobreza. E como é que vamos erradicar a pobreza? É praticamente implementando as políticas que a Unesco orienta para todos os países que ainda se encontram abaixo do nível de pobreza, tal como o nosso país está na via de desenvolvimento. E o segundo objetivo é sobre a fome zero. Nós incluímos dentro do nosso projeto a produção de cereais, hortícolas, tubérculos e também não plantamos apenas árvores que nos dão sombra ou aquilo que nós podemos verificar que é a beleza da natureza. Para além da purificação do ar e criação das zonas verdes, mas também plantamos uma diversidade que é possível nos oferecer frutas, e essas frutas são comestíveis e, de qualquer das formas, melhora a condição ou a qualidade de vida e podemos também nos sustentar a partir daquilo que nós vamos plantar. E o último objetivo, onde se centra o nosso trabalho, é sobre a ação contra a mudança global do clima. Verificamos que a nossa região particularmente pratica as queimas desnecessárias e de uma forma que destroem o ambiente, queimam as plantas, queimam as savanas, e isso preocupa praticamente contra as ações que prevenem o ambiente. No entanto, com a plantação dessas mais de 2.000 árvores, acreditamos que estamos enquadrados ao objetivo número 13 para trazermos uma outra imagem sobre o ambiente. Avançamos para o outro slide. Podemos, sim, certo. A sustentabilidade local, especificamente na província de Luís, se reflete nas políticas de desenvolvimento sustentável emanadas pelo governo local, que tem a ver com a aposta da agricultura de subsistência ou familiar e esta que carece de orientações específicas que asseguram a produção de mais alimentos que contribuem para a erradicação da pobreza. No entanto, para o cumprimento dos objetivos traçados para a sustentabilidade, na agenda da Unesco até 2030, ainda constitui um assunto recente em que precisa muitos trabalhos informativos, incluindo ações práticas e mobilizações para a expansão da informação às comunidades à nossa volta. O que é que nós verificamos? Verificamos que as famílias conseguem sobreviver praticando a agricultura de subsistência. Mas então, como é que nós produzimos? Será que o que produzimos é suficiente? E a resposta é não. E aqui há necessidade, a partir da escola de formação de professor, ter essa visão que, utilizando os compostos orgânicos, podemos aumentar a produção de alimentos. E esta é a nossa visão, que na área da produção de hortícolas, experimentamos, e todo o trabalho de experimentação nem sempre sai tudo perfeito, mas conseguimos colher alguma coisa, e com os resultados que tivemos, acreditamos que o projeto continua e teremos mais êxitos nas próximas atividades que estão já em curso. Podemos avançar para outro slide. Sim, visto que as comunidades carecem de conhecimento sobre a preservação e conservação do meio ambiente, as populações teriam noções de como explorar os seus solos. Isto já expliquei, e há necessidade de levarmos a informação às nossas comunidades de como podem produzir e produzir mais para que não nos falte comida. E esta alimentação que vamos produzir, que esteja enquadrada dentro das normas de nutrição, comida ou alimentação natural, cheia de vitaminas e energias próprias que nos asseguram para continuarmos com as atividades no geral. Então, o desenvolvimento sustentável na província do Ija está conhecendo novas vias e um novo parâmetro, tudo por causa da formação dos professores e de toda a sociedade identificada no âmbito do curso sobre Educação para o Desenvolvimento Sustentável garantida pela ONU ou a Unesco. Passamos para outro. Outro slide. Sim, o nosso objetivo, aliás, o nosso projeto traçou principalmente 3 objetivos. Que o primeiro objetivo é de plantar mais de 2.000 árvores diversas no perímetro da escola de magistério ADPP UIGE e arredores. Este trabalho já começamos, está em bom caminho, e neste momento já plantamos mais de 1.600 árvores e continuamos. E o segundo objeto se enquadra sobre os cuidados das plantas. As plantas que já plantamos merecem um cuidado. Então, o segundo objetivo é sobre cuidar das plantas até produzirem. O terceiro objetivo é produzir hortícolas, cereais, tubérculos para a mudança da dieta alimentar dos estudantes no regime de internato. De dizer que a Escola de Magistério ADPP pertence a uma ONG ADPP, ajuda de desenvolvimento de povo para povo. No entanto, os alunos que venham para essa escola deixam as suas casas e vivem aqui no internato. O pouco que os pais pagam e o governo ajuda, então não tem sido satisfatório. Praticamente com este projeto, vamos aumentar a produção de cereais, tubérculos, para mudarmos a dieta alimentar dos nossos estudantes, principalmente os que vivem no regime de internato. E, posteriormente, aquilo que eu disse, utilizando os compostos orgânicos, podemos, se calhar, expandir esta ideia para as comunidades circunvizinhas. Então, esses são os principais objetivos do nosso projeto. Avançamos para outro slide. Vamos, sim, ok. O nosso projeto teve 3 fases. A primeira fase, que é o início do projeto, foi a formação dos líderes do projeto. A partir daqueles webinários que nós assistimos, testemunha de outros países que já começaram do ano passado, no início do ano passado, então deu-nos uma visão, todos nós que aderimos ao projeto. Então tivemos essas experiências, razão pela qual começamos a aplicar na prática. E depois, o segundo passo era que fizemos a revisão do currículo da Escola de Magistério e encontramos algumas disciplinas em que podem também vincular teoria com a prática ao que nós estamos a desenvolver. No entanto, fizemos essa revisão e encontramos um espaço onde é possível compartilhar esses conhecimentos que estamos a ter para sustentar também o próprio projeto. E tivemos a sensibilização da comunidade de prática. Estamos a falar dos professores que trabalham na Escola de Magistério ADPP, nas escolas primárias, no caso prático do professor Garcia, que já apresentei lá em cima, e os professores do ensino superior, que aderiram ao projeto. E o quarto passo, ainda na primeira fase, foi a realização de palestras sobre as consequências das queimadas anárquicas. Isto aconteceu dentro da instituição com os nossos estudantes e também as comunidades circunvizinhas, próximo da escola. Vamos avançar para a segunda fase. Sim, conforme vemos aqui nas imagens, a revisão do currículo, temos aqui as fotografias, que esta é a fotografia que está à esquerda. É uma das fotografias que não foi exatamente no princípio, mas continuamos até o momento a incluir alguns elementos dentro do projeto, a partir do programa, uma reunião dos professores que são os líderes do projeto. E aí, na roda à direita, temos os estudantes, também são a comunidade de prática. Temos 4 anos de formação, e dentro desses 4 anos de formação, o último ano, o estudante da Escola de Formação de Professores vai às comunidades rurais, fica lá 1 ano, convive com as comunidades lá, e como é nas zonas rurais, ele deve ter a noção praticamente da sustentabilidade. Ali a escola não apoia alimentos, mas ele deve implementar políticas próprias para conseguir sobreviver e ajudar aquelas populações também a maneira de pensar, a maneira de agir e como eles conseguem sobreviver produzindo os seus próprios alimentos. E também são ativistas do ambiente. Se encontrarem um problema que é necessário resolver com as plantações que eles estão a fazer aqui na escola, então eles também são ativistas e amigos do ambiente. Vamos avançar para a segunda fase. Ok. Na segunda fase, criamos alfobres e víveres de plantas diversas. Então, o primeiro passo que fizemos nessa fase era a preparação do espaço para os alfobres e víveres de plantas diversas. Depois, fizemos a coleção das sementes diversas. Aqui tivemos muitas dificuldades, porque localmente também temos plantas, mas acredito que a nossa visão era um pouco mais ampla, razão pela qual a omanda e o onduco são plantas praticamente que encontramos na província do Ambo, que é a região central do nosso país. As acácias rubras encontramos em grande abundância na província de Benguela. As acácias americanas podemos encontrar em muitos locais. Os cedros, as moringas, abacateiros é uma fruta muito abundante localmente. Safueiros, que também produz uma fruta muito bonita, é ácida, mas cheia de vitaminas e ajuda muito, nos enriquece de energias. Temos as laranjeiras, mangueiras, limoeiros, bananeiras e outras plantas da região. Então, o segundo passo da segunda fase era necessariamente encontrarmos as sementes o suficiente que nós queríamos. E a terceira era a mobilização de recursos materiais. Era necessário entrar em contato com os nossos estudantes para ver se trouxessem das suas casas para a escola enxadas, katanas, pás, baldes, carros de mão e outros materiais que necessitávamos para começarmos com o projeto. A segunda, aliás, o último passo da segunda fase era a compra de sementes, não é? Feijão, couves, milho, batata doce, que faltou a batata rena, tomate, cenouras e as pimentas. Aqui entramos em colaboração direta com o diretor da Escola de Magistério ADPP e, por sinal, também é um dos integrantes deste grupo. Conseguimos angariar um pouquinho de fundos e, pese embora em pequenas escalas, mas conseguimos comprar as sementes segundo a nossa possibilidade. Passamos então para as evidências, segundo o outro slide a seguir. Verificamos as fotos. Avança para outro slide, certo? Ok, então estão ali as fotos que concretizam o trabalho que nós aqui estávamos a falar. À esquerda era o enchimento das bolsas para colocarmos ali as sementes. Estamos aí a ver estudantes e professores envolvidos ao projeto. No meio temos aí um estudante a cuidar do alfobre. Temos ali diversidade de plantas. Temos tomateiros, cenouras e outras mais. E à direita é continuação do trabalho que está à esquerda. Enchimento de saquinhos para essas bolsas para criarmos o viver. Lá um pouco a fundo estamos a ver parece uma gaiolazinha. O alfobre, no ano passado, encontrou esse trabalho e verificou, e puderam observar. Ok. Estamos aqui para a terceira fase, que começamos com a escavação dos buracos, plantação das árvores e plantas diversas, e limpeza constante e colheita de feijão, couves, batata rena, aquilo que nós conseguimos produzir. É a terceira fase. Já produzimos e colhemos uma parte e continuamos a produzir até o momento. Podemos avançar para outro slide. Avançamos, certo. Então temos aqui a escavação dos buracos para colocarmos as plantas. À esquerda é o diretor da Escola de Magistério. No meio temos aqui estudantes envolvidos ao processo e outros elementos do projeto à direita. São as evidências. Aqui escavamos e colocamos as plantas já nos lugares. Podemos avançar. Sim. Avançamos para o próximo slide. Aí, foi demais. Ok. Temos aqui a plantação de hortícolas e colheita de feijão. Estamos nas evidências para a terceira fase. À esquerda era a plantação de couves, à direita, aliás, no meio temos aqui o feijão que colocamos na terra, conseguimos colher. À direita está ali o resultado. Todos à volta temos aí professores e estudantes da Escola de Magistério. Este é o resultado, já conseguimos, do trabalho que fizemos, já conseguimos nos beneficiar. E continuamos, ainda temos feijão na terra, esperamos colher no próximo mês. Avançamos. Ok. Estas são plantas que já colocamos na terra. Agora, encontramos então as dificuldades. Durante o projeto, enfrentamos muitas dificuldades. Uma delas é sobre a falta de apoios para obter as sementes. Outra dificuldade tem a ver com a falta de materiais de trabalho. Enxadas, katanas, pás, baldes, carros de mão e outros materiais. Outra dificuldade que nós enfrentamos também e continuamos a enfrentar até o momento é a falta de inseticidas e pesticidas para tratarmos das plantas. Praticamente existem algumas pragas que devoram ou continuam a danificar a nossa produção. Também falta de roupas apropriadas para o campo, fato macacão, as botas, as luvas, a máscara. Então, nos fazem falta e traz uma dificuldade em enfrentarmos uma área cheia de capim, com as nossas roupas normais, seria muito difícil, ou é difícil para nós. Passamos para a última, que consideramos também dificuldade. Neste tempo, em Angola, ainda estamos na estação chuvosa. Para nós não constitui um grande problema na província do Uíge, cai muita chuva. Mas o tempo que nos avizinha, a partir do dia 15 de maio, e praticamente termina em agosto, o tempo seco, prontos, é uma preocupação para nós. A escola não tem água e já estamos a pensar nas consequências que teremos das plantas que começamos a separar há pouco tempo. Aquelas que já pegaram, praticamente aguardamos que, com a ajuda de Deus, consigamos protegê-las até a outra estação chuvosa. No entanto, é uma grande preocupação a falta de água na instituição. Pronto, são as principais dificuldades, sem destacarmos as outras. Avançamos. Vamos para outro slide. Ok. A nossa visão é que nos próximos tempos vamos continuar a plantar nos espaços vazios. Aí onde ainda não concluímos, então vamos continuar a plantar. Outra visão é vamos manter a limpeza constante por causa das queimas. A nossa comunidade aqui onde se encontra a Escola de Magistério fazem queimas anárquicas. Só a este momento, se passar 3, 4 dias sem cair chuva, consegue-se ver próximo às queimas anárquicas. Então, vamos continuar a fazer limpeza para não danificarem as nossas plantas. A terceira visão, já entramos em colaboração com a administração municipal de Negage, onde se encontra a nossa escola. Vamos plantar cerca de 1000 árvores dentro da cidade de Negage.
Marista, the presenter is remaining 4 minutes.
E já começamos com as parcerias e daqui a pouco vamos fazer as plantações. E depois, preencher com plantas diversas nas escolas primárias da sede do município de Negage. E também nos sede. Temos aí professores que estão no projeto e precisamos a colaboração para preenchermos os espaços vazios. Por último, nossa visão é continuar a produzir os cereais, hortícolas e tubérculos, porque se enquadram para a melhoria da qualidade dos alimentos. Então, vamos para o fim. Último slide, acredito. Ok. Para a conclusão, o projeto que escolhemos e implementamos se enquadra dentro dos Objetivos de Desenvolvimento Sustentável até 2030, pois que a criação dos espaços verdes e a produção de alimentos se enquadram aos desafios que se impõem para a sustentabilidade. Somos pioneiros nesta realidade, em comparação com outros países que começaram faz tempo, e aceitamos os desafios para mudarmos as nossas formas de trabalhar a partir da prática na sala de aula e lá mais em frente. Nossa gratidão a todos que incansavelmente nos dão o seu apoio. A equipe do UIGE, Angola, está sempre disposta para aprender e a praticar. Na língua local, nos despedimos. Tutondele, que em português significa obrigado. Terminamos a nossa apresentação.
Muito obrigado. Thank you so much. I had a privilege to go to Uige in Angola, and I visited this school. A very amazing place to be. So thank you so much for your presentation. I open the floor for quick comments and questions before we close.
Precisamos da tradução em português.
if you have any question or comment, you can chip in, or you can raise your hand if you want permission to talk. Okay, if there are no questions, comments, okay. Anna Wambo.
Eu só queria comentar que foi de todos os processos que nós tivemos dentro de Angola, este realmente foi um projeto muito desafiador, porque encontravam-se muitos quilómetros de distância de todo o restante grupo, com condições de trabalho um pouco precárias, sem internet, sem acessos via estrada. Por isso eu acho que este grupo está de parabéns e creio que irá desenvolver um excelente trabalho a nível de tanto da província do IJ como nas restantes províncias. O meu obrigado a todo este grupo magnífico do IJ.
Agradecemos, doutora Ana, e pelo incondicional apoio que nos brinda. Muito obrigado.
Obrigada eu, Marcos.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other comment or question? Yes, very.
Thank you, Ben. I just want to say thank you very much for everybody attending the webinar, and we will have the webinar presentations and the recording available in the next couple of days on the Sustainably Starts with Teachers website. And I really enjoyed all the presentations. Thanks.
All right, so as we agreed, we'll be doing this presentation as every 2 weeks. So next week we are not meeting, but the other week. So we encouraging institutions and individuals who are keen to share their change projects to contact Dr. Verma and even myself to express your interest to present in the next session. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, and see you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.